Coppish.
Okay, hello and welcome to the Yacht Club, the weekly show where we talk about all things Star Citizen. And we do it in style. Each week we get you up to speed on what's been happening in the verse, cover the hottest topics, and answer questions from the community, all while trying to have great drinks. If you have a question for us, we have a form for you, which we'll link in the description. We'll do our best to answer them during the Q&A later in the show, although for this show we're not going to have a Q&A. For the next hour, we invite you to sit back, put up your feet, and join us for a drink, some Star Citizen news, and some nerdy chat. We're your honorable hosts. I'm Stim Citizen, and going around the cast, we have Dr. Murray, Shadowkin, and Joran. Each of these fine gentlemen are avid backers and supporters of the Star Citizen project for their own reasons. So, Dr. Murray, why don't you start us off? Tell us a little bit about why you're here, and more importantly, what are you drinking today?
Well, let's see. I'm here for spaceships.
Nice.
And currently, I'm drinking water.
It's
good
good
water,
will be firmly replaced next year.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my Scotch budget to show up from Shadow.
Oh, I see.
Fair enough.
It's practice scotch.
Shadow, why don't you take it away?
Well, cheers. My name is Shadowkin, and I will be your resident professional alcoholic. Drinks professional in this fine pleasure cruise. Tonight, I'm trying out some good old Macallan 12. So, Salut. And over to you,
Good
Mr.
Stanley.
Captain Joran.
And I am Joran. I am the Bar Citizen guy. The guy behind the Bar Citizen website, the worldwide Bar Citizen movement, bringing Star Citizens together around the world. barcitizen.sc, also the founder of the illustrious Jump Club. We have several hundred space yacht owners who are space yacht enthusiasts and spaceship addicts.
Fantastic. That's really hard to follow. I'm just shriveling down now.
No, it's good. I like it because it's important, right? I mean, that's
all. Hugely. Massive asset to the show.
Well, you're very important to us, Tim, because you put all this together.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there'll be a lot of toasting on this show, so make sure you have
so start off early.
Plenty of reinforcements.
So I'm Stim Citizen. I guess you could call me the setter-upper of the show, doing the hardware and getting everything all set up, with a lot of advice coming in from Shadow, from Joran, as well as from Dr. Murray. So we've all really contributed to this show together. Today, because that's enough about me, I'm a Star Citizen backer. I really love Star Citizen. Bit of a fanboy, but I'm drinking Kraken in support of the unfortunate Drake
Kraken
ship. But it's Kraken, and then I've also got something a little bit exciting on the side, which is a. Hey, there we go.
It was in arm's reach. I'll have to not do that. But anyway,
I've also got a shot glass here with a drink from Romania, which is where my partner is from, and it's called Suica. And Suica is a moonshine. Essentially, it's a plum brandy, and it's really, really good. And that's why my cheeks are red right now.
That'll warm you up in the cold white north.
It certainly does.
Wait till Whistler.
So, in fact, it even says on it, cool story, bro. Tell it again. Whistler, BC.
Nice.
Okay, so
coming out a lot.
Yeah. So, what we're going to do for the show is we're going to kind of go over the news, and then we're going to highlight a topic of the week. We're going to talk about a ship of the week. Then we'll talk about sort of the community and what's going on there. And hopefully that is under an hour. So, what happened last week, guys? Do you remember?
All kinds of things happened last week. We got the roadmap for the rest of the year, which was huge. We've been waiting for 6 months, I think.
Yeah,
and
massive.
It had big news on it.
Yeah, not too much stuff like slipped, and then the 890 news with some of the new views that looked freaking phenomenal.
Microtech.
Yeah. in the
Swimming?
area. Oh yeah, I
Yes.
missed that. I heard
That's
about
going to
that.
be great.
Why don't you
There's
tell me a
gonna
little
be
bit more about
swimming.
that? Because it's actual swimming.
It's going to be actual swimming mechanics.
Nice.
They're actually developing that for Squadron 42, and so a lot of the Squadron 42 roadmap is crossing over to the PU because they're being simultaneously, and everything's tested in the PU for Squadron, and it's the patch after the 890 jump. So we'll get our space yachts with our pools, and 3 months later we can go swimming.
Oh, beauty.
We can have pool
Yeah,
parties.
okay.
Nice. Now, it's just surface swimming, right? There's no
Surface swimming.
swimming down and
I
okay.
I
assume
would
so.
imagine they're probably going to put you can go.
Yeah.
I would-
They will, but I think just to start, the initial thing is just swimming on the
Ah,
surface.
yeah.
The initial
Even
animations.
in our
I-
pool? That's the
And
question.
they didn't say anything other
Let me
than
swim in the pool. That's all that matters.
I want to see that
That's all that
scene
matters.
where what was the movie Interstellar? Where
Yeah, Interstellar.
was it Interstellar? The
Yeah.
one where she gets caught up. Oh no, it was Passengers, where
Or Passengers.
Jennifer
Yeah, I saw
Lawrence
that
gets
clip.
caught up in like the bubble of the water when they lose gravity
Yeah,
in the
Lose
pool
gravity
room.
and she's
Wow.
swimming in the pool. I saw that
Yeah.
clip. I didn't see the movie, but it looked pretty scary.
Mm.
Luckily, we have
Let's hope that doesn't happen to us.
better artificial gravity.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and mag boots as well. That's in the roadmap
Yep,
as
that was
well.
on the...
Yeah, I wasn't really quite sure where they're going with that. I
Well,
guess walking on
about
the
it.
outside of spaceships.
Yep.
Yeah,
Think about it. Invasion, snap on.
Board,
Right
but
boarding.
it doesn't sound like it's
Boarding.
actual mag boots. It sounds like it's using EVA suit thrusters. So just to orient you and
Yes.
keep you
That's how
pushing
they
down
said
onto
it
the
was gonna
surface.
work.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that was
So
a way to get
this
Chris
is what
Roberts
it
to
is.
agree to it.
Yeah, here you heard it here first.
Which is good because mag boots are dumb.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out. But they're also going to have push pull, so you'll be able to pull yourself along in zero G. I guess up 0G ladders or something. I don't
We're
know.
getting ready to be
There's
able
a
to
lot
turn
of
off our
stuff.
gravity generators.
That is the
Ah.
that's the key part too. The gravity
That's true.
generator, because that was a huge thing early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen.
Once we get that, then all this stuff makes more sense. So
So if you really want to disturb your guests while they're swimming, you turn off the gravity.
Right.
Hey, that'll
Right.
shake up
Yeah.
the party, right?
At least
That'll
cargo
be
has
party
locking
starter.
plates itself.
Drunk test. Click. Turn it off.
One of the
See
things that I'm
her.
excited for, which is on the Squadron 42 roadmap, and all of the guys in the UEMC Discord and organization are excited for, is the Cygnus, the spider miner.
The mining spider. Everybody's been excited about that for a long time. It's actually on the map. I wonder if they're going to actually release it because they don't show
Where
it
was
on
that at?
the PU roadmap. They only show it on the
Nope.
Squadron 42 roadmap.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I don't
who
think they
knows?
will.
Is
We may
it,
not
are they
see
going to have
that.
a concept on it? Yeah. Yeah.
no, they won't.
Well, it leaves the
No.
door wide open. I mean,
Well, and then there's also even more exciting for more people is the Titan suit.
yes, I was
Like
going to touch
to-
on that. You beat me to the punch.
Mm.
That's also on the Squadron
What?
42 roadmap, but
Right,
not
right.
the PU roadmap.
Do we know
You know
anything
that's
about
coming.
it? Do we have any?
We've seen some kind of
Stylized.
cutaways and and some stylized concept art. We saw a screenshot of the guy working on it, and then they showed like a actually I think it's on the roadmap if you click it or somewhere it shows like the size of the person, and then where like the knee joint in the armor is below your feet.
Okay. I can probably bring up the roadmap here.
Yeah, I have it up now, and I was just.
Is that in the
looking
Star
at it.
Citizen
I don't
one?
know if that was in there.
No, it's in the Squadron 42.
That's okay.
or if that or was that somewhere else.
I don't remember. I saw the same picture though.
I know
Yeah,
it was a
but-
picture.
Folks are pretty excited about that one. Everybody keeps wanting it. It's like not coming soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, Titan armor would be really interesting when you're in the inevitable situation where you're in the worst possible scenario where you've got a bunch of ships shooting at you and all you got is Titan
So
armor.
where was Titan suits in the? Do we know characters?
I'm gonna
No.
move my drink. Hold on.
Maybe
Ship checker. Titan suit. There
There it
we
is.
are.
There it is. Yeah, click click it. It'll
Nice.
pop out. Click the
Oh, nice.
thing right below it.
That looks
Yeah,
cool.
there it is.
That looks very cool.
That looks really good.
Yeah, powered armor.
It's like the max suits in the planet side.
Those were like
Those were fun.
cybernetic. though.
They were terribly slow, but in the right situation, good time.
Yeah, they were useful.
Do you think
Especially
it's
with an
going to be just for attacking, or do you think it's also going to be for loading and unloading of cargo?
Well,
Remember from
I think it'll be
Aliens?
just like a ship, right?
I think
mean,
what
it'll-
we're going to get from it is the loading and unloading side, the civilian aspect. We won't get a military kit battle suit.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I think there will be, because it's such a big part of the
The combined arms.
the whole.
battle.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I'm
combat's such a
saying-
huge
well-
part of the game.
Well, that's the thing, I mean, it's like everything is it's not just what it is. It's always the way that you can reconfigure things. So
Right.
Doc froze to me. Is he frozen?
No.
there he
Nope, seems to be
Alright,
good.
He froze to me.
But no, I don't think they're going to give us a military version of it. That doesn't seem to be their style. It'll be a civilian loader lifter that we can put guns on.
Mm.
But
And then
It
they'll
won't be
sell
bad.
a round of javelins or maybe some bangles that'll have that version.
yeah, they'll sell some like
But-
for Nepal's Veterans Day or something. Who knows what they'll do?
You know, one of the big things about Titan suits is having suborbital drops, right, instead of parachutes, where they kind
Was
of
it?
send you down, and then you have
That-
this
was
retro
that-
thrusting on the
Yeah.
Titan suits. Well, from just
Really?
not necessarily from Star Citizen lore, just from
Oh, okay.
general
Other
Titan
sci-fi
suit
shows.
games.
yeah,
and
that
stuff.
that
yeah.
goes way back. Yeah, that goes way
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to see that.
Well, they were talking about parachutes of some sort because people keep falling out of their ships. That actually was
So-
hilarious.
They confirmed that there definitely is going to
Yes.
be them.
I
So
was watching Rexzilla about an hour ago, and he had this massive 50-person group op, and he had a Valkyrie full with his team. He had like 23 people on the Valkyrie, and they had gone all the way from Olisar to Hurston, and they just got into Hurston orbit, and they were starting to hit in the atmosphere. And he opened the side door. He was looking out, and he was getting some good cinematic visuals of it. And then the ship kind of makes a sharp turn, and he flies out the door.
give me like my one crewmate.
So
who
the whole
tried to
stream has
catch
been
me.
waiting for like that. They've been waiting for like 15, 20 minutes to put the whole op together, get everybody in their ships, head to Hurston, quantum all the way over there, and go down. And then all of a sudden, bam! He's falling through.
RB bugs, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
parachutes would definitely help with that. And it would be neat
Mm.
too, because like in the perfect
Yeah.
situation where you're trying to stream that, now you've got an alternative,
Yep.
right? You can just keep going. Yeah, that's neat.
Yep. Yeah.
You
Pop
got it.
your retro thrusters or whatever that was. Yeah, that
gotta
was
be
really
tricky.
pretty funny.
Gonna be tricky to do parachutes for multiple G environments.
Yeah, that's why I think
They won't work well if
retro
yours-
thrusters are what they'll do, because you can
Yeah,
calibrate those
retro
for any
thrusters.
environment.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a parachute doesn't really work
Parachutes
because
won't.
you're talking about like weight to,
Yeah. Dropping
weight
from
to
the
displacement
stratosphere.
ratios and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100 kilometer drops from upper atmosphere.
Fun.
Or in the no atmosphere moons, it's not going to do you any good.
Yo.
No.
Jump out.
I used to do a lot of skydiving, and when you jump up at high atmosphere, you fall way faster, and so a parachute wouldn't even have time to open. There wouldn't be enough relative wind to expand
Yeah,
a
you
parachute if you didn't. Yeah.
Got to wait until you get a little bit lower.
Okay, so this week, just kind of talking about the This Week in Star Citizen document real quick. They spoke about how we had the monthly report on Friday, which is really good. Currently, there's a Be My Valentine card contest going on, and it's actually Valentine's Day today. So our poor
And we're
partners,
here.
they support us in our geekdom.
Happy Valentine.
People.
Happy Valentine's, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You guys are my Valentines.
Oh, the bromance.
Where's my chocolate?
Darby bromance.
You didn't bring me flowers, Joran. I'm upset with you.
Yeah. No flowers, no chocolate. Nothing.
Sleeping with the dog. They spoke about their Star Citizen merch. They were saying on Monday, this past Monday, they wanted feedback, and there's actually a link to that, and I'll put that in the description as well with the show notes. That they want feedback on the new physical merchandise that Star Citizen, that RSI is going to put up on their website, that CIG is going to put on their website. On Tuesday, we had a lore day. On Wednesday, they announced the winners of the Tumbrel Cyclone commercial contest. And then, of course, Thursday, we had RTV. And I think we can probably talk about RTV for a good little while. So should we start off by watching the Tumbrel Cyclone video?
Yeah.
Yes, we should.
That was a
Alright.
great one.
Let's do that.
We're at 17 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Doing well.
Yeah, good timing. All right. Shadow, have you seen it?
I've seen snippets. I have actually not watched it yet.
Okay, here we go.
I'm terrible.
I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, Haskaha is definitely one of the one of our best talents in the community. But there were so many great submissions. I mean, there was. I would hate to be the guys trying to choose the winners.
Up against them?
So many good ones.
Oh, yeah. And was it just the one guy, Haskaha, that put it together?
No,
There's got to be multiple people working.
No,
Yeah,
Dan Shanks also worked on this.
Yeah, it's usually a group of like a half a dozen, 8, 10 people that actually put these things together, because you've got the cinematographers, you've got the drivers, you've got multiple people.
Kind of looks like me on my way to work.
I love that shot where they jump over you, where they jump over the camera.
Yeah.
That's some pretty good camera work there.
Just the right height.
Whether it's sunsets or finish lines you're
Just in
chasing,
time for the sunset.
choose Tumbrel to
Yeah.
consider. Tumbrel RC is
Gotta go get the next
one.
modified control.
It's actually called
controls
Street
to take you through all the
Sunsets,
power you
which
need.
is one of the more fun things to do in the universe.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Done that a lot. I would go in, I'll land,
Tumbrel
watch the
RC.
sunset, take off, fly off
Get in front of it.
further over the horizon, then land and watch another sunset. Or
Yeah.
sunrise. It's harder with the sunrises.
Why? Why would it be?
Because you're driving in the dark.
Oh.
No, it's because once you get to a certain spot where you're trying to anticipate it because it's over the horizon, so you kind of fly to the right spot, and then you try to land, and then you get out, and by the time you get landed, and then the sun's already up instead of landing just before it comes up, and definitely used to be easier on like Daymar was one of the better ones. On Hurston, it's a lot harder because it goes a lot slower. So, it's just a much slower process. You can't do it repetitively as much.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool with some of the different artifacts that are in the game, like the Benny's Stonehenge, which I just found out about this week.
Benny Henge?
Really?
Oh, really?
Bennyhenge. I actually cannot believe I missed that because I'm totally going there.
Where were you?
sometime soon.
That's been there since
I know, I know.
before
Is it
Yeah.
still there? I thought it was taken
I
out.
know, right?
Yeah,
That's
it's still there.
Oh,
that was
wow.
like 2.5.
Yeah.
It's going to be there forever.
2.4.
Something, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
I
there for a
understand
long
that.
time. It's harder to find now. Actually, I have not found it in quite a few matches. Actually, when I went there, it was I think Draconos took me in 85X,
Drax.
and then he got trapped in some hole in the rocks, and I had to fly sideways to get close enough to him to be able to get in because he couldn't get out of the hole in the rocks. Finally,
It was jammed.
yeah.
Bound to happen.
we've got a character. So this week's ATV, they focused on three main points. They focused on character performance, as we're going to see it, and how they're improving the performance of characters, frame rates, as well as the network cost associated with them. Then they spoke about the Argo SRV, which is exciting. Very exciting. And we've actually got a little sneak peek for those. Well, it won't be a sneak peek by the time you see this of the pre-sale announcement, because for concierge,
not everybody watches ATV, even though really.
True.
Maybe they will.
True. And then we've got an update on the city streets. That's what they gave us as well, especially as it relates to ArcCorp. That's pretty exciting.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
So
The new Argo, as we shall call it.
The
So-
tow truck.
for those of
new
you who are watching this, that this is like our dry run that we're going through, and so it's practice for when we actually go live. So
Our
if we do link this, if
Very
you guys do
first
see it,
practice show.
yeah, it really is a practice, and so your
And
experience,
we've been setting up for an hour and a half, so we're
Yeah.
doing pretty good.
yeah, and so the bloopers are the entire show. There we go.
Mhm.
All right. So what I'm going to do is just put on a demo reel for us here.
Yeah, what I found interesting with this was and the level of complexity of, it kind of like if anybody's worked in Photoshop or other graphics programs and you've got multiple layers, and the number of layers that they have for these characters
Yeah, it's astronomical.
it's incredible. And you've got the multiple body layers, and then all the different clothings and armors, and they're all layered on top of each other, it creates a tremendous graphics processing cost. And so what they've worked into their system, and I don't know how prevalent this is in the gaming industry, if it's a pretty standard type of system, but I know there's very few other games that have this level of fidelity and detail, but they flatten it into one layer for rendering purposes, so that and you can have this tremendous amount of fidelity and detail without having a tremendous resource drag on the clients and the servers. So when you've got 100 people in a room, then it's not going to lag it as much. At least that's the intent over time.
Well, I don't know if you got a chance to, because you're volunteering at CitizenCon, to actually see the character cloth animation talk. It was just phenomenal. And they went over
amazing.
Yeah, and how the different layers of clothing and capes and armor all have to mesh together so that it looks realistic, and you don't have clipping of the different assets. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and the lighting's the hardest part with that too, is because you got lighting on top of lighting, and that's when things really get chaotic. But yeah, I got to watch that after the fact.
Yeah, I watched all. Yeah, we didn't get to see any of the panels while we were working it, but after the fact, I watched all the panels on YouTube, and it was just really fascinating. And then I really, really love what they're doing, changing the physics of the way the cloth moves from the pendulum to the I forgot what they call it, but it's so much more realistic with what they're going through. I don't know when they're going to implement that, but wow, it looks amazing.
And Shadow, you must have had some time to watch the clips with your busted up ankle.
No, I actually didn't. I was still working the whole time.
Yeah, but after.
I was in it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. After I did. I definitely had plenty of time afterwards.
A lot of bed rest after that.
The thing that I took away from the whole armor layers was how easy it's going to be for us to customize them, to get our colors how we want them.
Yeah, great point.
And as long as they give us a robust system for that, I'll be pretty happy, because it's going to be easy enough to do from a back-end perspective.
Even now, there's so many choices of different kinds of armors to choose, mixing and matching between the legs and the arms and the torso and the helmets and the capes and undersuits.
No, you don't mix
Yeah,
and
I wonder
match.
if they're going to do
They
anything
come as a
rare.
set. You're supposed to wear them as a set.
Well, no, I'm wondering if maybe there's some
You might get some
helmets that don't
disappointment with
work.
you.
Like
Disagreement.
if like a certain large helmet that doesn't work with certain like small armor or something. I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that. Because I was kind of curious because a lot of them just will never match up right, and if you think they have to be airtight, never know. So,
Yeah, limitations. Yeah. Well, I think the undersuit's designed in a way that any helmet will work, provided it's rated
right.
for no atmosphere or atmospheric regulation or whatever they'll call it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, like that's one of the things I've got the Space Marshal armor set, and I don't like wearing all gold everything because I think it looks really ghetto bling.
Yep.
I am vehemently against all
Couldn't
gold.
have said any better.
It was better when it was a rainbow color anyway.
Yeah, that was
best patch.
But I love the black Inquisitor armor from Grimhex, and so I get the black undersuit from that, and then I'll wear the black torso armor because it also gives you 2 main weapon slots and six magazines and 3 grenades and 2 metapins. So you get to carry a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's not all gold. And then I might wear the gold arms and legs, just to give a little gold accent. So it's like black with gold trim. And then I wear different kinds of helmets. Sometimes I'll wear the gold helmet. Sometimes I'll wear the medium helmet. I haven't found one I really like that goes with it. The black Inquisitor helmet is really pretty cool, evil looking. It's good for combat ops, but not for running around. I don't.
What do you think about that purple? I think it's the Venture suit, Imperator helmet.
Yeah, it's actually pretty nice. Yeah, my friend Mystic.
That's what I wear.
Yeah, and she
Nice.
wears that one. It looks pretty good, except when we go on combat ops, she switches over to the Inquisitor too because it's got a lot better armor values.
Okay.
Yeah, but at some point you're not going to be able to fly in it, so.
Probably.
Yeah, because you'll only be able to wear light armor and fly.
I think you can wear medium. You just can't wear heavy.
Right now you can wear heavy, but the gold, what's supposed to be, is only light armor.
Yeah, right now you can wear all your guns and everything. But
well, physicalized inventory is going to change that, and I don't know if that's when they're going to squeeze in the change that you can't wear medium heavy armor while flying. I'm just waiting for that.
Yeah,
so I usually only wear light armor. For a while.
In preparation for when it happens, or?
Yeah, well, I trust my gunplay skills a little bit more, but...
I've seen you drink.
I used to wear light armor with a heavy armor helmet, so my head was protected. I don't know if that's going to still be allowable, but that was the best thing to do. Because body shots, they're not going to get me in time.
Yeah, I like the visibility on a lot of the light helmets, but
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Although interestingly, that Inquisitor helmet has completely full view, even though there's no actual.
It's wide. There's a spot in the bottom and a spot in the top, but I have an ultra wide monitor, and you're right, because I played it on a 1920 by 1080, and it has just a touch top and bottom when you move around.
With that alien-looking Inquisitor helmet.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Hadn't really noticed that.
Maybe it's
field of view is huge. So if you can,
it makes a huge difference.
If you can see more, that's great. And they'll probably nerf it down so that the larger screen you have, the larger view you have, the lighter the armor set is, and the more armor you have, the more restricted your viewport is. So
it's already in there.
Yeah, it's balancing.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing that was in the roadmap that I thought was kind of interesting was the NPC healing. How's that going to work?
Same way it works for player healing.
Well,
yeah. Apparently, it's only metapin based right now.
Yeah, you walk up and stab him with the med pen.
Well, but does it go the other way?
Can you
have NPCs follow you? Yeah, that's where I was thinking.
So have an NPC follow you as a medic?
I'm going to go with doubtful.
Because it says specifically healing other. It says
reliable
other
performance
and
anyway.
NPCs. So I don't know.
Doubtful.
And then right below was the close combat thing because they kind of tie together, but it kind of links in with the armor conversation. how's that all going to be handled? With
Yeah.
if I punch you with a heavy arm, it's probably not going to do much. But it's kind of an interesting
Actually,
thing we have to figure
somewhere
out.
on the roadmap, not too far out, was close melee combat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
waiting
3-7.
for that.
Yeah, 3-7.
That's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's
wait for that.
exciting.
I hate that. I have sucked at every game since I was a kid with melee combat. It's like,
Sorry, Doc and I are gonna
what were
have about
those?
7 shots. We're gonna strip down to nothing but our little flight suits and just beat the snot out of each other. Great.
And I'm going to use a knife because
You probably would. Be like, hey, you brought a knife to a fist fight.
That's fine.
I brought a gun.
I brought a gun too.
All right.
Put a knife in a Scotch fight.
Should we move on to the Argo feature?
Mm.
Yes, the SRV tugboat.
The new
Yeah.
Argo.
Every time I see it, I just think of the whole Spaceballs thing. Sucks. No, sorry. So I mean, you see this picture.
Second sir, she's gone from suck to blow.
Yes, right. So you look at this picture, right? It's this little tiny ship dragging a constellation, and
That's
that doesn't seem very unrealistic. But
That's
then,
no, it's a constellation. Yeah.
yeah, because Hearts came in chat today, which we'll coin it. He actually said you can use multiple tugs to pull larger objects. That's kind of neat.
And
That's-
they said that in the ATV also. I believe.
Okay, I missed that. Yeah, and my whole thing is wouldn't it be neat if it worked like like modern day locomotive, the throttle and controls and everything via one? I thought that'd be kind of neat, Sig, if you're listening.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to do that because it's awful hard to coordinate multiple ships in.
Yeah, beyond 2. I mean, geez. Okay, everybody, and then you have that 30 milliseconds of lag times everybody else.
Everybody responds.
Accelerate to
Stop,
20% power. It's like
All I know is there's going to be people in their Auroras, and they're going to log out in their beds, and during that 10-minute cooldown period before their ship despawns,
Oh yeah,
I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to
You're
move.
drag it into a star.
Put it
What
someplace
happened? I
funny.
don't know.
I wasn't in orbit of the star.
Yeah, there it
Drag
is.
him into the back of the Crucible. Rip him up.
Pretty neat.
Well, this is pretty exciting. I mean, we've spoken about we now have the medical ship that gets out there and grabs your body, and now we need the one that grabs your ship, because I don't want to lose my ship every time I fall unconscious. It's going to happen a lot.
Well, yeah, and that kind of goes
something
back to
else-
the Crucible too. How does it get damaged ships? Does it maneuver up onto them, or does it pull them into it? So
probably some kind of tractor beam.
yeah, I wondered
it's
if the
supposed to have
ship or maybe
tracking
some
beams.
drone that had this same thing on it, because they made a big deal about this object. The what they call it, I can't remember what it's called. But anyway, they made a big deal about it, so I was just curious how that was going to work with the Crucible.
Actually,
I imagine
something-
the Crucible will have a large tractor beam as well to
Yeah, I
maneuver
think it
things
will.
into it. And
Mm-hmm.
if I had to guess,
Yep.
I would guess that they're going to give it some towing capacity as well.
possibly.
But
Um,
who knows?
What do you mean by
Niche-
towing capacity? Like just
I mean-
limits?
Well, I mean, it'll have the ability to pull something
Some
to itself.
some ability to.
But I mean,
tow
it might not be able to do full repairs, right? Like maybe it's a larger ship and it doesn't have the repairs facilities to, do large engines or whatever they
Well,
come
that's
out.
what the armies are for. The Crucible's the greatest ship ever. Best ship.
Supposedly,
You
the
heard it here.
Crucible's
You
able
heard it
to
here
do
first.
repairs on large ships that are not actually in the bay, but are out, like flies up next to them, like the Javelin and the Bengal and whatnot.
And they were
But,
saying that you'd be able to
um,
stack crucibles or have multiple crucibles working on larger ships at the same time.
Yeah, as well.
Just like they
Various
did
areas.
with this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, do you think,
Really
did they
neat
confirm that the Crucible will be able to tow ships, or is that just, they said
they-
other ships
no,
will be able to do
no,
it?
no. Nobody's confirmed that. That's just my.
No.
I just heard
Conjecture.
Doc confirm it.
Okay.
Theory crafting, more theory crafting. But
my
an
assumption.
interesting item that somebody brought up in the in the Jump Club chat earlier, or no, it actually was when my Florida Discord. I have too many Discords. That pirates who disable a ship's engines can use the tug to tow the ship back to their base.
And then rate it.
yes. Oh, that's
Yeah.
yeah. And then change the VIN number and
Yep. So
well,
instead of
that's been discussed as a thing for ages, right? Like,
Yeah,
whoa,
yeah.
Identification number.
spaceship
yes.
SS number.
So instead of having to just abandon the ship or salvage it there or try to repair it there, when they disable the ship's engines, they can haul it back to their base and work on it back there.
Well, it adds
So
an interesting mechanic, right? Because if you took a ship and you took out the engines, you don't even have to go inside. Now you can take it out of high sec or a higher security space and move it to wherever you want and do whatever you want with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Drill a hole inside and gas everyone inside.
while the people are still inside.
Right.
Just
I
don't
mean,
take it apart while they're in it. Just
I wonder
drop
about
it.
speeds. Do you think that?
Yeah, that's where I was just going to go with it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. It's definitely going to be quantum capable or anything, but.
Well,
I
it'll have to be quantum capable
It has
because
to
you,
be quantum, 'cause
yeah, it has
otherwise
to
you
be.
can't go very far at all, and you can't go more
Or take
than
a
few
long
few
time.
thousand.
Did
Yeah,
it?
and you can't go
But
harder.
what would
than
the quantum speed be? Would it be full quantum speed? 0.2 or what have you?
Quantum is actually based upon the ship that generates the quantum field. So if the ship that you're dragging doesn't generate one, that's going to have a massive engine on it.
Yeah, it should have a big
yeah.
quantum drive
I
because it has to create a big bubble.
I
Well,
think that next
got the
week
muscle
after
like a
we
tow
get the
truck.
Q&A, when we get the Q&A, that's going to be the number one question.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Quantum
So
speed,
it's
you
very-
think?
Oh man,
No,
you
the
could
number one
quantum-
question is going to be, will it fit in an Idris? Because it's always the number one question.
That's always the number.
Will
one
it fit in an
question.
Idris?
Will it fit in the Kraken?
What's its
Oh,
maximum towing capacity? And how fast does it go?
Right,
It looks like
because
it will fit in an
it can
Idris.
pull back spare parts.
Yeah. It'll keep you cracking moving.
Why doesn't it have any cargo space?
In 17 more
Yeah.
pieces.
How much cargo space does it have?
How much cargo space? It's like-
How many weapons does it have?
Yeah.
How many
got
people
no
does it
weapons.
have? Is it
If
made
this
for
has
20
no
people?
weapons, then all the racing ships are gonna. There's gonna be a big outcry saying racing ships shouldn't have weapons.
Cargo. It doesn't need weapons.
Well, it just,
Well, they have.
Does
well, they
the
have
Argo
death
cargo
races,
and
death
personnel have the MPUV? Do those have
No,
Can
weapons?
you
I don't think
can
they
you
do.
repel?
Completely unarmed.
No.
Can it repel?
Okay.
They do not.
Can it repel weapons? Like incoming
It's
fire?
supposed to have heavy armor and heavy shields. I don't see any weapons on it.
So do you think they'll come up with like an extra layer of penalty for those that attack ships that don't have weapons? So like Argo MPUVs and cargos and these now without weapons end up
I would hope so.
having like
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think
I think it'll be the same protection as everybody else.
they're flying
Yeah,
under like a
they-
white flag surrender, like peaceful.
Yeah,
cross
as they're
banner.
dragging some victim back to their base to disassemble. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah. White
That'll
flag.
I think.
Hey,
what
I didn't disable the ship. I'm just dragging it.
it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that everyone's gonna be fair play.
it's a lawful tow. He was
Mhm.
parked.
Yeah.
He was double parked.
He was parked. There you go. Why is he screaming up against the window with a sign that says "Help me"? Just ignore him. He's high right now.
as he feed it into the reclaimer.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing on board. I checked once.
I checked at least 4 times while I was sleeping.
It
No-
definitely seemed
nobody
like a
conscious.
pretty cool ship.
How many
Yeah.
will it take to push a javelin? That's going to be a question.
Wow.
You know what? And this
A
goes
lot.
back to a conversation we were having. I think it was the
Not
United
even
channel earlier.
possible.
How many does it take to push another ship to do something bad? I mean, Rogue One, right? It wasn't the big ship that did it. It was the little ship that knocked him into the ring, and all hell broke loose. So,
Yeah,
kind
but
of
that
an-
hammerhead ship,
The hammerhead.
they have a ship that's purposefully built to do that.
Well, it wasn't.
And then Spacefish turns around and says, "I have an idea." Oh. It's like the purpose of your ship is to do this, and you have this outlandish idea. Uh-huh.
You can do that again. We might have to drink on that one. No, I get. But I mean, you think about it, though, it adds a really cool mechanic, right? Because now you can, and this goes back to that whole thing of like working as locomotives together. You get them all to do the right thing at the right time, you probably could move some serious mass. Because you think about like a large ship like a Javelin, its main thrusters are going forward, so it's not the lateral stuff that's super strong. So to move it off course or move it away or move it into something, it's totally possible. So I was kind of neat. When I was reading that, I was like, my mind just started going, there's a lot of devious things you could do with this.
And that brings us back to like the actual hammerhead that we have. Could you turn the hammerhead on its side and ram something?
And ram a javelin.
Yeah, and drive it into the space shield.
It has a reinforced front end for ramming. You don't want to turn it sideways.
They did say the front end was reinforced.
Yeah, reinforced. But if you turn it sideways, you can get it, on the side of the Death Star, the destroyer, and guide it into the other ships.
I think we took that one to the nth degree.
Okay, moving right along.
So, well, this is a sneak peek here before we get into it, which will reveal prices on the new ship.
Today it is the
$130.
Yeah.
Says the man who's invested. I wouldn't say.
More disproportionately inappropriate.
How much have you spent on that game? Ish. You didn't give a number.
So 130 is the war bond price, and then there's a utility pack.
What's in the utility pack? I didn't see
question.
I think it includes both
MPV.
Argos.
Yeah, cargo and a Pargo.
Yeah, cargo and personnel MPUVs.
Yeah.
So
all three.
Don't resist.
Personnel.
Three.
Oh, that's nice, actually.
It's a cargo and a Pargo.
That's a good deal.
Pargo.
Because they were 40 each, weren't they?
Yeah, I think 40.
So 130.
One was 35, one was 40.
Okay, so 75 on top of 130. So it's not that good. It's $5 savings.
It's not that big a saving. Seemed like it was.
Yeah, they could do better.
But that's interesting though, because that was a distinction that was being brought up in concierge chat earlier, because everybody's been calling the MPUVs the multi-purpose utility vehicles by Argo Industries. We just all call it the Argo, but it is not the Argo because now there are two Argos.
So this is the new Argo.
Yeah, you have to call it the Argo Cargo and the Argo Personnel and the Argo. What does SRV stand for?
The Pargo and the new Argo.
This is the SRV.
This is the Razer laptop thing. It's the Razer Blade. No, it's the new Razer Blade. No, it's the new Razer Blade. Which one? Yeah, it's
just the new Argo, and if there's another one, we'll call it the new. It's fine.
The new.
No, it's the newer. Newest.
It's the tow Argo.
In case you wanted 4 of them, it's $500 US.
Everybody needs 4 tow trucks
for a little tow truck. Yeah.
Well, they do stack. It's not like we didn't get those Knox 5-packs.
Do you think they were working the sale on that one when they said they stacked?
Yeah.
Could be.
One originally Constellation, but if you
not a bad approach. Look at the first post. It just says, obviously first, and then GG. The iconic first.
Yep. Which is usually not the first. Usually somebody went first, and then they're like third. Can't change it now.
All right.
First is usually noise.
Should we move on to city states or city streets?
Yeah,
45 minutes.
ArcCorp.
Yeah, I missed.
Good counting.
ATV on that one.
Excellent counting.
He really can't count. He's got a timer in front of him.
He's cheating. I was impressed for a second there.
Called the clock.
4.
So another feature in 3.7. 3.7 is going to be awesome. Yeah, it's ship to station docking. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep, so the first refuel kiosks and restock kiosks.
This is actually footage from last TV, which I thought was interesting because they're changing the building types from what we were used to in the old ArcCorp that we could walk around in, and the old CitizenCon video from 2017.
Yeah, good point.
So it seems like a little different, definitely a little different design. I'm not sure I'm thrilled with it yet, but I haven't seen how they're going to detail all those buildings.
It's hard to call.
Yeah, it's hard to call this early, but it certainly does look pretty impressive.
It
But
seems
what
to me
did you
like they've got a
notice?
little bit more depth in the mapping,
Mhm.
which is good. A little bit more definition of the landscape.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was just a
Yeah.
CBD, and then it went like to straight, almost flat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, they had each of the landing areas which kind of built up, and then they just kind of went down flat. Definitely has a lot more complexity to it
And that
now.
was brought up too, is they said, like when they took the planet over, when they bought it, was it flat to begin with, or did they make it flat? Which I thought was, it's a great point, right?
They
So.
flattened it
Yeah.
out, obviously.
But they also said,
Big steamrollers.
did you also catch the reason probably why it's flat is because of the altitude flight restriction? So, just like
Mhm.
here, you can't fly below 500 feet. Well, I say here in the United States, you can't fly below 500 feet. I don't know what it's like up in Canada, but you probably guys
It's about the
probably
same.
10,000 feet. No, I mean you get what
I don't know
mean,
the actual flight restrictions, but yeah.
the actual flight restriction. Yeah, but no, I mean
Yeah,
it's that whole concept.
This view
of,
here is really cool, actually, with those skyscrapers. I mean,
Mhm.
that looks
which they
very
did
cool.
say
right
you
there.
can fly
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
without hitting.
Yeah. Well, they said there'd be
I mean-
some skyscrapers that are high enough that they're above the flight restriction level.
Mhm.
That
And
you
then
can
they
land
also-
on and go
Yeah.
into.
Yeah,
Which
and
is exciting.
the other
Not
keeper
for
was
3.4.
Spider-Man.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean 3.5?
So this
Three
part right
points.
here, they're actually he's flying.
Yes.
He or she is flying in between the buildings. Is that? Do you think that's below the flight zone, or do you think that they'll only have
Well,
a few
look at-
that are
look at
above, so you
Lorville
can land
now.
and go into them?
When you get to Lorville now, you're 1,000 feet. I mean, you're way above the flight, and you already see the glow. So I don't think it's been
Well,
implemented.
the altitude is 408 feet right there.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
way
definitely
low.
lower than
They
you're gonna be
said
able
that
to
it was
fly.
going to be about 250 feet, 250 meters.
Oh yeah,
so
this
we're-
would be meters. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 250 meters or so was going to be the no-fly zone. So
Because if
enough
that's
to keep
400
people
there.
from harassing people on the ground, but that
Hmm.
you'd still be able to fly through the buildings because they wanted us to be able to have that experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I mean, keep in mind this is
Love
all
it.
subject to change, but
It's gonna be
Yes.
it's good
so
to have
hard
numbers.
to salvage all those ships.
Well, what happens to a ship when it explodes and falls to the ground, or even just somebody ejects out of it, or something like that? I was thinking of that.
Supposed
Is that
to
when it
persist.
goes below?
Yeah.
Well,
so here's the traffic that they
Wow.
were talking about.
That's
in
right.
today. Yeah,
I don't think it looks right
really
yet.
good.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It
so
looks
this
great.
Is, this is very
Uh,
very early iteration, very early, and it's not meant to be seen up close yet. And they're going to continue, but to be able to have that movement of lights and traffic and make it feel like it's a heavily populated city planet,
So,
which was built in 30 years or 200 years or something.
do you think we're going to be able to have like our own personal car that we can go
No.
from?
No,
I hope so.
No,
They-
it's
they-
Skytrams.
yeah. Well, they said that there's going to be a train from the spaceport to Area 18, and then eventually there'll be some other landing zones, and then eventually there'll also be able to be some buildings that you'll be able to land on and have like missions in the buildings above the no-fly zone. But there's not going to be trains over the surface. So we won't really be traveling large areas of the surface. But they did say that like Area 18 is going to be larger than Lorville is right now.
Okay.
So we'll have a pretty large explorable area, but we're not going to really be able to travel around a lot of the cities in the whole planet. So, and it's been one of the areas of concern around the community here. As we get closer to it, it's like we're going to have this gigantic city planet. At least on Hurston, you can go anywhere on it except for outside at the main Lorville area, and land anywhere and go anywhere. Where on ArcCorp, you'll only be able to land at the spaceport near Area 18. So
Yeah.
pretty much the whole rest of it, you'll be able to fly over it, but it won't be accessible. So visually impressive, but frustrating new planet for us.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. Because I mean, if you think about it, this is the biggest technical hurdle ever. I mean, you're really slamming
A
together
city
a lot.
planet is
Yeah.
insanely huge.
And when you
And
think
so
about
For
it,
them to go
insane.
after this early, I think is great because you're really going to start flushing things out because they're going to bring up get it out. It's going to be a first version. We're going to get great updates.
Exactly.
And,
there's going to be
so, I mean,
reworks upon rework
right,
of
and I
the
think
different
that's
tech
really
involved
good because
with
it's only going to
hardcore.
make everything else they do so much better.
And that was an important point in last week's RTV with Top Happy, talking about where they're putting their effort and resources, with even with having over 500 people working on the project, and I think they've got over 30 plus environmental artists that they have to build new planets, new landing zones, new hero areas. Microtech is coming for the end of the year. That was announced for 3.8, and the new Babbage, which is a whole new city with an entirely different high-tech design palette. New hangars, new buildings, new offices, new everything. And then beyond that, we have to get Crusader and the Cloud Cities there. And I forget the name of it, but he was talking about that. So they're starting to test out environments for the Cloud City, and then we have new star systems. And this is still just the first star system, and they have to go back and add more landing zones to the existing areas that we have. Like they were talking about adding some other small towns on Hurston, adding the kind of area where the Hurston family goes to, like a little vacation resort area where they have their estates or something like that, where it's nicer quality environment and gardens and stuff like that. So, and they're going to go back and add those, and then the tech to build the larger rest stops, where they're going to be able to procedurally generate multi-floor gigantic structures that you can walk around the entire thing, populating with rooms and habs and offices and things like that. They're going to take that tech and go back to ArcCorp to build those buildings and other landing zones. So
again, that goes back to the whole rework thing. I mean, this is going to be the first shot at it. It's probably not going to be great, but man, look at how they always go from their first iteration to their second. That is such a massive jump, and it's a lot of community based, which is great. And that's the huge advantage of being crowdfunded the way this is. So pretty neat.
Yeah, they take our feedback and they go back and we get to see it being built, being improved. Go back. Actually, I think it's Naranian. He's also one of the folks from the Russian Star Citizen community. He puts out some really amazing videos. Each time there's a patch, he does a side-by-side on the same screen of the previous patch and the new patch, looking at like the Moby Glass, the ship HUDs, Olisar, the maps, and visually the difference of the same zones that we see. Like even just Olisar, each patch he shows it before and after, and they make improvements every time. And like the ground shaders and textures. Every time we get a new patch, they're making improvements to it. And if you look at the roadmap, they have those spots there on core elements of improving the planetary textures. So all I have to do is feed
in 3.6. That looks really neat too. The HUD, because I mean, let's say the Moby Glass is good and it's come a long way, but it really needs it needs a logical rethink. Like, can you move and use it? Because I mean, if you think about it, if you're in there and you're trying to do re-equip or something like that in the middle of a combat, and somebody starts shooting, it'd be nice to be able to move. So that's in 3.6, and I can't wait to see how they rework that.
That's probably going to change with the physicalized inventories, because you're not going to have your Moby Glass. So things are.
You have a Moby Glass.
You'll have a Moby Glass, but you won't have, like right now, everything that you own is in the Moby Glass, so you can change your armors and clothes.
No, I understand what the physicalized inventory is.
You just can't equip things like that.
Yeah. But you have to stop and pull up your Moby Glass and change things out. But when we get physicalized inventories,
you're gonna have to go get it.
Yeah, it's
You know?
probably going to be like like right now when if you're carrying a weapon and you hold F and you look down at it, you can place it or drop it, or with a cup or whatever, how you interact with things with the inner thought system. When we get the physicalized inventory, it's probably going to be more of an inner thought system where you're interacting with things on your person.
I just hope I can't see Doc's inner thoughts.
You'd only be so lucky.
Shots fired.
You'd only be so lucky.
What happens when I pull this pin?
But one of the
I
other
wonder
things
how
is
far I can stick my knife in before.
there you go. He's right in front of me. Anyway.
yeah.
No, physicalizing. I mean, that whole point is great because it's like a lot of games where you pick up a gun, you drop your gun that's in your hand. You know, it's like, is that going to happen, or is it going to be like kind of can you stow it, or I don't know. It
Well,
will
the
be very
persistence with that as well. You know, if you drop that gun and you get in a
It's
ship
gonna
and
sit
fly
there.
away, it's there. It's gone.
right. Yeah, and that's the thing. Did
Yep.
you drop it with one round in it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
it would just be
exactly.
great. You drop an
So,
empty gun. the clip
We've
in
got
it.
3 minutes to finish. What do we have left?
Okay. So the topic, we might not finish exactly on time. We'll just let it roll out naturally. We were going to do the topic of the week. I think we kind of did that already by talking about
The sale
About
on
our-
ATV.
you got it. And then ship of the week, we kind of spoke about the sale quite a bit as well. We spoke about the ship before. So let's move on to, we don't have any Q&A. So community corner. Let's talk about Bar Citizen. What's going on?
So with Bar Citizen, there's a Bar Citizen coming up in Reunion, the Reunion Islands this weekend, and then next weekend we actually have quite a few more.
Is that where what's the name that we met at Bar Citizen or at Austin?
No,
Was that where you?
he was from the Canary Islands.
Ah,
Um,
good point. Okay. Can I remember his name right now?
but
Great guy. Anyway.
actually, Stem, can you pull up Bar Citizen SC and throw it up there for us?
I can do that. Was that in the show notes?
It was not.
Okay.
Should have put a link there. It's like we can just link right out.
Tired.
There's a link right there.
There we go. Bar Citizen
Make that
SC.
easy.
Nice.
And let's go to cinema.
Share a drink or a meal. What's
Okay.
a meal?
So up at the top you can click event list.
Okay.
And those are the upcoming Bar Citizens. So
Nice.
St. Giles Reunion.
Austin.
Where
Atlanta, North Carolina.
is
St. Giles or St.
Well, there's
Gillies?
a lot of Texas Bar Citizens. Look at that. San Antonio, DFW. I saw it.
Wow, look how many are on the 23rd
Austin.
of February. And
Yeah.
the 22nd.
Yeah, it's because
Yeah,
everyone that's
they're
really sad
Seattle.
about the 14th is going to go out and drink.
so
Yeah.
Reunion. This may be the only citizen who shows up at his Bar Citizen, but this island is off the coast of Madagascar.
Where's it at?
Really?
Which one?
This one, St. Gillies?
Reunion Island.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love it.
I wonder, it'd be actually really interesting if
Actually,
he
pretty
ends
cool.
up seeing this to
You do like
to
a
post.
virtual one, right? We should join
How
that
many people
sometime.
went?
Actually,
Yeah.
We should
Actually, I'm
totally
gonna-
join that.
That tech is available now, right?
Actually, I just linked the Google Map. If you click that, you can see where this island is.
Okay.
Crazy.
It's a pretty remarkable map.
Where'd you link it?
Right there in the document.
In the
under
document. Okay, show
Bar
notes.
Citizens. Right below Austin.
Okay.
I promise we'll get better at this.
Yeah.
So,
It's early days. Early days.
Yeah. Well, this is good. This is good practice.
We
It's good
could
practice.
slap around the word noob as much as we'll be quite all right with it.
We are noobs. So if you
That's
zoom
fine by
out,
me.
if you zoom out a little bit, there's
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Madagascar
It's not even
off
on
the coast
Madagascar.
of Africa. So
Oh my goodness. There's
Literally in
Africa.
the
I
middle of
don't know
nowhere.
how many other citizens are there,
There's
but there's at
Madagascar.
least one citizen. Hopefully, there's
Wow.
two when we get a picture. At least two citizens.
Oh, that'll be one of the best.
Mauritius
citizen
is obviously
pictures
That would be
ever.
cool.
more well known.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Yeah,
you and I are
Green
gonna
Island.
have to fly out there sometime.
I wonder how their internet
That'd be
is
pretty
over
cool.
there.
I'm gonna have to bring scotch, I think.
You might have to bring your own scotch. They may
Pretty
not
sure I have
have
to bring my own scotch.
Wow.
may not have Macallan 12 down there.
Yeah, they better have something better than that, but I'll bring it. Yeah, well, that will be a cool picture though.
Unbelievable.
But I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, one of the more unique locations.
Yeah, very
And
cool.
then next week is Atlanta and Austin and Gothenburg, Sweden.
Britizen Con,
Rennes,
right?
France.
Yeah, I was going to ask about
Seattle.
BritizenCon.
Yeah,
That's-
Britizen Con. I wish
yeah,
they planned it a little
BritizenCon.
When
earlier.
is that? Tickets just went
Uh,
on sale for it, right?
Yeah. It's not until April 27th.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Yeah, but that's going
Yeah.
to be another good event. They usually have
And for the organizers, a little
100
bit
plus
earlier.
people out there.
Some of us would like to come to
They-
that one.
Yeah, they need a little help with their AV. Hopefully this year they get better connection. They had problems with the hotel. They had everything all set up, and then they had some issues with the hotel. They were in like a Marriott there or something.
Well, you
had
could
some-
imagine the complexity of putting this together and on the budget of
Oh, yeah.
what a BritizenCon is putting
Well, and
together.
it still looked
Unbelievable.
really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, it still looked really good. So
Yeah, they had a great
Cheers,
event. They always have 3 or 4 devs come out from the Manchester and German
Mhm.
studios. Brian Chambers goes out there, so it's a great event for the folks in the UK or
You know it's
anybody
a party
who
then.
can get to the UK. Yeah, they have a great bar citizen afterwards. I always grab pictures from that.
Yeah, I
It's a
saw the
pretty
ones
good
from
event.
last year. It was pretty awesome.
Great. Well, hopefully we can get those pictures up on the channel.
Yep. Well, we'll have pictures next week of anything that happened in the past week or so. What else we got? Coffee Cup was last week.
Yep.
DMR Rally was a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
They had some
Craziness.
challenges with that.
Yeah, I watched the first
You can
little
call it
bit, and then I figured I would catch the highlights. There were some struggles,
Lots
but
of shit.
Yeah.
amazing endeavor to put that together. Really, I mean,
They,
Yeah, it was.
it's easy to sit back at armchair captain and judge it when what they put together was
sure is.
really
Let's
impressive.
do that.
It's amazing what they put together and the amount of coordination that goes into getting certain people, all the ground vehicles delivered, and then replacement vehicles,
Yeah,
air cover, that sort of thing. Because talked to a few people where a lot of vehicles just don't survive the trip.
that's right.
And-
That's right. The UEMC
when
had an entry into the race, and I don't think they finished. But
Yeah, and somebody else walked. And they
they're not
walked
the only
across the finish
ones.
line.
Walked across
Yeah.
the line. Yeah, I did see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's like the last 40 kilometers or something they walked.
I can make it. Well, that is, that's typical. I know racing etiquette. I mean, is it the body or is it the machine that passes the line that counts? So
Yeah.
It's
usually
Yeah.
both.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
But we had
Pretty
a part
hardcore.
where it said how many parts can you carry, and does that still consider a vehicle? So
Well,
it's all up
no,
to the rules, I guess, at that point.
a vehicle needs to be able to move under its own power.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Another thing that the Coffee Cup is doing is
Sell your
Fit
car.
February.
Yeah?
So I don't know what the timing is on it, but I assume it's at the end of the month. There's a contest for a $50 RSI gift card that they're putting together. So,
Nice.
Very nice.
try and find out details for that if you want to get involved. It's a good endeavor. Our Star Citizen group is sitting at the computer probably more often than we should be, and not maybe reaching our standing goal as much as we should. So I think it's a really good movement.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
Excellent. Well, that was a pretty good first show for a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah, for giving it a first shot.
Noobs.
I'm pretty happy with it.
Oh, wait.
So
I got one critique for Joran.
go for it.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Shorter.
Armchair captain.
Shorter. I would agree with that. Just a little shorter.
Talk less.
Talk
You
less.
know, it's
Well,
great
you
content,
know,
though. It's really good
bring it
content.
to
I'm sure that people
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
know about it.
yeah.
No, Jordan, you're good at
people
telling a
want to know. I
story, and I
agree.
think people
agree.
want to hear that story, and they want insights into the community and what's going on. So I don't
I
mean
think
to
we did
be contrarian, but I think it was good.
Yeah. I mean, it's long, but I mean, it's packed. So that's what's key.
Yeah.
From a talking standpoint, it doesn't work to let
You're
him
right,
ramble
though.
for 5 minutes each time he talks. But
Oh, it wasn't too bad. I've been on other shows where it's been a little bit worse. So
Well, that's what we don't want to be, is the boring show.
I'll try not to talk too much.
you point across faster.
Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah.
I tend to
Get passionate.
but at the same
I
time,
definitely do get passionate, but I
No,
also
no.
have
We have
difficulty
alcohol.
being concise.
you know, we're having drinks, we're relaxing. I know a critique on myself. I'm not monitoring the screens as carefully as I could be.
Yes, that was the only thing I was going to say. It was just,
There was one point where it was on the cinema and it was just sitting there with the YouTube, like the after, like
we
suggested
gotta make
videos
sure-
for a long time.
Is there a way to make it where it doesn't do suggested videos?
I don't know.
Here's
You
what I
know,
was thinking. If there's not, then make it go play next and just find like just a black screen or something. Or maybe just a roll that we know is always good.
yeah. Well, we decided to go with YouTube videos, and I don't know if you can just constantly loop the same video. I'll have to look into that because that would be
You can.
ideal.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
you should be able to.
Okay.
And if you know what, here's what's really cool is with the Yacht Club account, I can actually give it like the really good YouTube Red and the whole 9 yards because I have
Nice.
that on the corporate account thingy.
Nice. Hey, if that's easy, make that happen. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, no.
Let me run through the outro just because we have it. Because I wrote something, whether it's still applicable or not, I don't know. I haven't read it since I wrote it. So, well, that's it for our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed the last hour of updates, opinions, and laughs. Leave a like if you loved it. Share this video with your friends and org mates if you think you enjoyed laughing at the video and at us too. Don't forget to subscribe and set the notifications so that you don't miss out on all the great shows that are coming down the pipe. Tell us what you thought of the show and comments down below in the description and in the comments. And we'd love to help have your comments and your feedback to make the show great. Tell us what you liked. Tell us what you didn't like. We'd really like to know because we want to make this enjoyable for people to watch. We're not trying to monetize this. We're just trying to make it fun. We have fun putting it together. We've had a great time so far putting the project together. And I'd like to see it last for a while. Let us know if you're putting on a community event, all those community event hosters, or if you know of any great upcoming events, because what we'll do is we'll put them in the show and we'll talk about them in the show. And lastly, don't forget to send us questions through the form link, which we'll put in the description. We've got a form, a nice Google Doc where you can actually a nice Google form where you can submit a question, and we'll do our best to answer it, and it will lie if we don't have the right answer. So beware.
We'll make it sound good.
Until next time, and we raise our glasses, cheers, and we'll see you on the Yacht Club show. Bye for now.
Cheers.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.